Okay, so we're going to go through the process of balancing the chakras, clearing and rebalancing them. We're starting with the actual chakra protocol, but I'm assuming that you've already done some kind of daily routine or some kind of grounding or balancing or fundamental work to get the body prepared for this chakra clearing and balancing. So with the left hand, you start over the root chakra, which is right at the height of the tailbone, right about here. And you're sitting in a comfortable position where you can be leaning back or you're lying down on your back. If you're doing it to a client, they can be lying on a table or sitting, as long as they're comfortable and relaxed. So the left hand is over the root chakra and you're going in a counterclockwise direction, which means if someone is looking at you and the clock is on your belly, you're going counterclockwise. So for me, it's to my right. And I'm about 6 to 12 inches off of my body. And I'm tuning into what's going on in my left hand. My right hand is off to the side, kind of as a direction to send any excess energies I don't need. Will move through my left arm, through my body, and out through my right arm, which is pointing down on the diagonal to the earth. So I'm going pretty slow. The pace and the distance from the body will be different for each person. And I'm kind of sensing in my hand for gunk that's accumulating on the hand. I'm clearing out anything from this first chakra that I don't need, that's not serving me, that's clogging up the works. And when I sense that there is some energetic gunk attached to my hand, I just shake it off. And then I come back and I start from out here and I just kind of come in and see how distant my hand wants to be to clear out this first chakra. And this clearing process might take anywhere from 1 to 5 minutes. If we're doing all 7 chakras, it could end up being a time-consuming process. You could set the intention that you're only going to do 1 minute on each chakra, if that's the amount of time that you have. Or if you know that the person is struggling with a certain aspect of their physical body that's governed by a certain chakra, you could go just to that chakra or plan on spending more energy or more time on that specific chakra. So in other words, if they have low back pain, I might spend more time on first and second chakra. If they have esophageal indigestion, I might spend more time on the third chakra. If they're having heartache or heartbreak or cardiac issues, I might spend more time on the fourth chakra. So let's say we're now done with clearing the first chakra. We're going to shake the hand off and now go with the right hand over that same chakra. And now my left hand is out to the side and I'm going in a clockwise direction to rebalance what is the energies that are still in that chakra. So we cleaned out the closet and now we're putting things back in an organized way. And we're going slow and focusing on what it feels like in the hand and in that part of the body. The rebalancing generally takes a shorter amount of time than the clearing out. And when that feels complete, pause, take a breath, and then we'll move up to the second chakra. Second chakra is between the navel and the pubic bone, slightly higher up. Again, I'm going to start with my left hand. My right hand is out to the side as the siphon, and my direction is counterclockwise to my right, nice and slow, inviting anything that is no longer serving my whole system and is stored in this chakra to be electromagnetically pulled in by my left palm and then shaking it off. Anything that's ready to go, that my body is ready to release, is being pulled onto the palm of the hand, nice and slow, just like you're vacuuming one spot of your rug over and over and over, getting out gunk that's been pounded in over the years. And clearing that out. And in the interest of time, we're now going to go to the right hand for rebalancing second chakra. Left hand is out to the side, nice and slow. Rebalancing what's left in the second chakra. Moving up to the third chakra, left hand over the solar plexus, the base of the ribs, where the bottom of the ribs meets the stomach, the tummy, the core, the abs. Counterclockwise. Again, using your intuitive sensing, feeling, brain and hand to notice what distance from the body feels the most effective and helpful at this time. Remembering that the chakras have layers and different information is stored in each layer. So the layer that is ready for and needing and wanting clearing might be different in each chakra. So I might have wanted to be really far away from, or 12 inches from my first chakra, but then when I get to the third chakra, I want to be much closer. It depends. So just notice where your hand kind of floats to and trust that knowing. Nice and slow. If you're not feeling anything, try slowing down. You may find that there's a certain, as you do your circles, which are about as wide as the body, as you do those circles, you might find that there's one, and you really tune into it, you might find that there's one part of that circle, like for me, as I come around to the right side here, I feel some resistance. There's some gunk in this area over my liver. So I'm just going to spend some extra time in that part right over my liver and kind of do some mini circles there, inviting any toxins that my liver's working on processing to come into my hand, and then shaking it off. And then continuing to move around the whole circle. And when that feels complete enough for now, bringing the right hand in a clockwise direction to rebalance what's left. Knowing that you can always come back to any chakra that seemed to want a little more attention. But in the interest of time, we're moving through all 7 here. But for instance, if I knew that a client was doing a detox diet for a few days, I might spend more time on that third chakra because it does govern the liver. Let's move up to the heart, the fourth chakra, which is right in the center of the chest. Let your hand go in and out a little bit to notice which layer the hand is attracted to the most, and then begin your counterclockwise, slow counterclockwise circles. Here too, notice if there's any part as you settle into those slow circles, notice if there's any part of that circle that feels like your hand wants to slow down a little. Again, for me, it's over here on the right side. Who knows why, but I'm going to spend a little extra time there. The heart chakra also has 2 mini chakras over each breast. So you might feel that your hand gets attracted to one side or the other. Those mini chakras are calling out for a little more attention. Keeping in mind that the heart chakra also governs the shoulders. So if someone has chronic shoulder pain or shoulder tightness, working with the heart chakra is a great way to go. And without getting too much into the analytical brain, I've been having chronic right shoulder tightness, which is probably why my hand keeps wanting to pause over the right part of this chakra. And then we'll finish up with clearing the heart chakra. Shake the hand off, bring the right hand over and go in clockwise direction. Nice and slow, rebalancing whatever is left there. Knowing we can always come back. Pause, take a deep breath. So, I'm going to move up to the fifth chakra next. The left hand over the throat. For me, it's right about here, which looks like it's about 8 inches from the surface of my body. Right, counterclockwise circles. Having my right hand in a position where I can let anything I don't need siphon through the body, out through my fingertips, back down to the earth. Shaking the hand off as you go. Keeping in mind as you work with each chakra, the different parts of the physical body that are governed by this chakra. So for fifth chakra here, we have thyroid, anything throat related, anything neck related, sometimes top of the shoulder. I know I said heart is the shoulders, but tops of the shoulders is here. Jaw, anything in this vicinity, TMJ, anything glandular or with the ears. Clearing that out, switching to the right hand to rebalance in a clockwise direction. Taking your time, sensing what you feel there. And then when it feels complete, knowing you can come back when needed or if needed. Pause for a second and then we'll move up to the sixth chakra, left hand. Start a little bit far away and kind of bring the hand in the way you sense for the edge of your aura sometimes. Notice what layer is most calling out for attention, and then begin your circles at that distance. Slow circles, sensing if there are any areas in the sixth chakra that need more attention than others. You might also find that your hand starts at one level, but as you circle, it's being drawn further or closer from the body. That's not uncommon. Just let your hand do what it's being pulled to do. There's a lot of surrender and giving up control of the process that has to happen here. Trusting the sacred energies to know what the physical body needs. Especially in this chakra that governs the intuition, the inner wisdom, and of course the analytical, rational brain as well. Headaches, nasal sinus congestion, eye strain, eye fatigue, all those will be governed from this chakra, as well as intuition, any kind of overthinking. And let's say that's complete for now. and come to the right hand to rebalance. As you get more accustomed to what this feels like, you might find that your hand does other things besides just being in a flat, open shape like this. Sometimes my fingers will kind of curve around, almost like I'm scraping stuff out of the edge of a bowl. And I just go with that. Kind of does this like scooping action when there's something specific there that wants to be pulled out. So even though I'm in the rebalancing phase of this particular chakra, that's what my hand's doing, so I'm going with it. Probably because I'm trying to talk and do this at the same time. Okay, so now we're going to go up to the 7th chakra, which sits at the crown of the head. I'm going to start pretty high up and just slowly bring my hand down to the top of the head, toward the top of the head, noticing which layer my hand wants to pause at. Taking a deep breath and then beginning with the circles, as if someone is looking down at the top of my head from the ceiling to go in a clockwise direction. The only notable difference here is, generally speaking, in males, the crown chakra spins in the other direction. So to clear it, you would go to the left. That's a vast generalization because we all have different amounts of yin and yang, male and female energies. So if you were working on a male and you started doing to the left instead of the right and it didn't feel right, I would just trust that. Same thing for a woman. At this chakra, I'm always very open to what the body wants to tell me. Because although in most males, it spins in the other direction, sometimes in females, it spins in the other direction, and sometimes in males, it spins in the same direction. So listen to your body. Notice if it's getting pulled further away or closer, just go with that. And when that feels pretty complete, pause, take a breath, and then switch to the other hand, the right hand, for the balancing, the rebalancing direction. Clear, rebalance, clear, rebalance, clear, rebalance. Having said all that and done all that, I want to also say that there are master energy teachers that I've worked with that say it's not always necessary to rebalance. The body knows how to rebalance itself. And you can just go through with the left hand and clear all the chakras. And you don't need, it's kind of superfluous to do the right hand rebalancing. Again, use your own wisdom, intuition. It's going to be different for everyone. It'll be a different day to day. Working on yourself or anyone else, just sense what the body is telling you it needs or doesn't need. Now I'm getting real itchy on my scalp, so I'm going to go back up and do a little bit more clearing, especially over that itchy spot. And then I'm going to shake it off and do a little more rebalancing. Okay, we did all 7 chakras. Now we're going to connect them all up. So a good way to do that is just a sweep up, just like tracing central meridian with one hand from pubic bone up through the top of the head. You can also, even more often, we do it with a figure 8 pattern, figure 8ing over first chakra, letting that turn into a figure 8 over the second chakra, letting that turn into a figure 8 over the third chakra, connecting up all the chakras that we've now cleared and rebalanced, knowing that they have to be, not only we want them balanced within themselves, but then also communicating and harmonized with the other chakras, letting those figure eights drift all the way up to the seventh chakra and coming back down. And we'll finish with one more way to connect the chakras. Left hand or any hand on the first chakra, and then the other hand just rests on the chakra you want to connect it up with. So right now I'm connecting first and second chakra. One hand on my first, one hand on my second. Can be resting on the body, or it might float a little bit away from the body, depending on how it feels. With my hand a little bit further away, I can start to sense the pulse, the wave that's moving through these two chakras, and I wait for them to feel pretty synced up. And then I'll keep one hand on the first chakra and I'll slide the other hand up to the third chakra. When my hand arrives over the third chakra, it feels like a little bit of a seesaw in my hands between the two chakras. So I'm just going to wait there and breathe until those two hands come into more of a synced up, balanced harmony. And when that happens, I move my right hand up to my heart chakra. And I notice that those are pretty synced up right away. So then I move to my throat chakra. Those are pretty synced up. Then I move to my sixth chakra. And those are synced up, but it's a little bit deeper and slower. My both hands just kind of slow down in terms of the pulse that I'm feeling. So interesting. No need to analyze it, but just noticing it, feeling it. And then up to the seventh chakra, balancing first and seventh. And those feel pretty connected up. Shaking my hands off, coming back now left hand to the second chakra. Now I'm going to connect second chakra up with the rest of them. I've already connected first and second, so I don't need to start from below second. I can go right to third. I'm going to connect second and third, and those do feel a little out of sync, so I'm going to stay here and breathe. And with a deep breath, I notice that they sync up. So I'm going to now move my right hand back up to my heart chakra, connecting up second and fourth. Those feel pretty synced up. I'm going to move my right hand up to throat chakra. Those are out of sync, so I'll take some extra time, some deeper breaths. Keeping my hands relaxed in a sensing kind of mode. Just inviting the energies to do what they know how to do. There's no magic involved here. Just being a facilitator. And then moving my hand up to the sixth chakra, my right hand to sixth, my left is still on second. And this feels pretty out of sync, so I'm going to stay and breathe. And it's always fascinating how a slow, deep breath seems to sync things up almost immediately. And then I'm going to float my hand up, my right hand up to seventh chakra. And those feel pretty good. So hands down, I'm going to let my hands shake off a little. Feel how that's all going. So far, so good. I definitely feel more centered, balanced, grounded. Feel stuff happening all over my body. Take a deep breath. Now I'm going to take my left hand to my third chakra and balance it up with each of the chakras above it. So third and fourth. As we move through the chakras and up through the body this way, they often sync up a lot more quickly. So third and fourth feel good. So I'm going to go ahead and move to third and fifth. Those feel good too. It's a slower pulse, but it feels synced. I'm going to move my right hand to the 6th chakra. And it seems like my 6th chakra is the one that needs the most attention with everybody else. This is pretty out of sync. So now I'm going to take a deep breath. Okay, there we go. 3rd and 6th are synced. I'm going to move my right hand up to 7th. These are a little bit opposite. They're in the same syncopation, but they're opposite. So I'm going to take a deep breath. And now they're more in unison. Bringing both hands down, taking a pause. Left hand comes to heart chakra. It's a nice, strong, solid pulse there. Right hand comes to 5th chakra. Nice, strong, solid, synced up pulse. So I'm going to go ahead and move my right hand up to 6th chakra. These are feeling good, synced up, deep, a nice, deep, fluffy pulse happening in both of these. So I'm going to go ahead and move my right hand up to crown. 4 and 7 are feeling pretty good, but they could use a deep breath just to kind of settle them in. And now the pulse does feel a little more even and balanced and subtle. Bringing my hands down, bringing my left hand to 5th, right hand to 6th. Feels pretty good. Keeping my left hand on 5th, I'm moving my right hand to 7th. Also feels pretty good. Bringing both hands down to pause. Now I really feel the energy up from the tailbone, almost like coming out like a fountain out through the top of my head. I'm going to go ahead and bring my left hand to 6th chakra. My right hand to 7th. This feels really nice and strong and synced up. Bringing both hands down again. Deep breath just to sense in, tune in, see how much different things feel now than they did before we started this whole process. Just sending a little love, compassion, gratitude, blessings to all of those energies that cooperated with my hands and my intentions. And I'll just finish up with a little hookup. Navel, middle finger in navel, middle finger in third eye. And then I'm going to finish with tapping in this sense of balance into the third eye with my middle finger, which sends the message to all the systems. This is now the default setting. So there we go.